What to look for when driving for dollars. Guys, in this video, I'm going to be sharing the 10 things to really be looking for as you're driving through these neighborhoods that really could lead to the chance of getting a deal in the next 30 days. All right, some of these items, guys, they're gonna be easy, things that you can see right from the street, but I'm gonna share a couple things that people miss, and these ones, when you do see them, you do spot these, you'll realize that a lot of these are actual real deals. Number one, and that is tall grass or unkept yards. Now, we all know of what this looks like. We've all driven down the neighborhood, maybe even that one in your neighborhood, where you're leaving to go to the grocery store, you just want to get things done, and as you're leaving, there's always that eyesore in the neighborhood that you're like, I just wish this individual would take care of their yard. For heaven's sakes, all their dandelions are coming over to my yard and it's making me have all these weeds in my yard. Like, just fix it. This is a great sign of distress, and keep looking for all those yards that have the 4-foot grass with the dog trying to figure out where the front door is. Number two, and that's broken windows or boarded up windows. Those that, I want you to think about this. If you had a broken window or you had a boarded up window, would you really be okay with it for a long time? Sometimes when you see the boarded up windows, you'll also notice that the board has been on there so long that the water has been rotting the board. This is a good sign, guys. This is something that they are putting off the repairs to their home, most likely because they can't afford it. So this is a crucial one and an easy one to spot right from the street. Number three, and that is curling shingles. Now, what do I mean by that? I'm not talking about the Olympic sport curling, but I'm talking about shingles on the roof. Good shingles last anywhere from between 25 and let's call it 30 years. So when you're driving through these older neighborhoods and you start to see the shingles that are old, they start to like curl upward. And you'll start to see the edges of like the roof, you'll start to see wood, and you'll start to see damage to the home. You might even see where the roof is starting to sway. These are great signs, and these are not hard to find. As you're in your car, just simply driving the street slow, these will pop out like a sore thumb. Number four, broken garage doors. This is easy to spot, again, right from the street, right in the comfort of your car. But usually a broken door, you can see some of them that are caved in or collapsed in. But most of them are also just the ones that are hanging on an angle. They can't shut anymore because they're off the rail, right? How many people really would allow that to happen, or that they're not wanting to fix it so they can use their garage? Because what they've done now is just made it so that they can't even use the space. They can't even park a car inside their garage. People that are putting off that expense, there's usually a sign of some other motivation going on. Number five, this one's another simple one to find, and that's weeds growing in the driveway. Usually when you have activity of people driving in and out of the driveway, you won't see many weeds like growing up through the cracks. So when you see tall weeds in the driveway, that's also a sign not of just distress or a sign that there could be motivation. That's also a sign that that home, it could be vacant. So make sure you're looking for those cracked driveways with weeds growing up through the top of them. Number six, and that's fire damage. Guys, this is pretty self-explanatory, but you're just looking for anything that's burnt. It could be that siding's melted and pulled away. It could be just burn marks in general. There could be holes in the roof where maybe a fireman, they had to come in and because it was such in fire, they had to like put holes in the roof or holes in the wall so they could put out all of the heat. So those are easy ones to find, and you'll usually be able to spot those from like 3 houses away. Number seven, and that is peeling paint on the siding or just siding like falling off in general. This again shows a sign of people not caring about their home, and every year they wait for this to be fixed, it's just causing more and more damage to their home. The other one that makes it easy is number 8, and that is posted like notes from the actual city, and this could be like the health department. So sometimes you'll see like these big stickered notes that can't be removed unless you get like a razor blade. They posted on there, maybe because it's contaminated with meth and they don't want anyone trespassing in that house because it's unsafe conditions. This is also a very easy sign to find as you're driving down the street. and also a great lead to get in contact with individuals because there's going to be a lot of motivation behind this one. All right, these last two guys, they're some of my favorite and we don't really think about them. Number 9 is any one of these things that we've talked about prior, but also porch lights on. Maybe you're driving for dollars during the day. Porch lights shouldn't be on. So when you start to see distressed properties, as well as the porch lights are on during the day, there's a good sign there's motivation there. But again, this is another sign that that home could be vacant and they're just trying to make it look like someone's there. Number 10, much like number 9, this goes hand in hand that when you see any of these signs of distress on the property, coupled with that their gas has been shut off. So this is the one that takes a little bit of more than just driving by at a casual speed. You may have to walk the sidewalk so you can get a better look. But these things will stand out. When a city shuts off the gas, they're going to make sure that it closes, but they're also going to put like a colored zip tie on it or like a lock on it. So whenever you see that colored zip tie on the gas meter or a lock on it, that means their gas has been shut off. This is another sign that not only are they behind on their bills and it's been shut off, but also there's a good chance that that home is vacant. All of these things added up just elevates how motivated this seller could be and could be a big deal. All right, guys, before we get into, now that you know like all the different distress signs when you're looking for homes, before we get into what do we do now to turn this into a deal, I want you to hit that subscribe button. I also want you to hit the bell so it alerts you when we put fresh new content out there. But let's finish strong because now we need to know how to turn this into a deal. All right, guys, so how do we make money driving for dollars? How do we get the dollars out of all the time that we're putting driving these neighborhoods, looking for all these distress situations? Most cases, guys, this is for those that are usually beginning. Usually someone at the beginning stages that's driving for dollars. They also have maybe a tight budget. And so you might be listening to this and say, yeah, I'm getting into driving for dollars. I also don't have a big budget. That's okay. We see deals happen all the time where people are driving for dollars and don't have a big budget. So how do you get smart? How do you work smart with all these different leads that you're finding? You're in a neighborhood, you're finding all these distress signs. You're like, oh my goodness, high grass, oh, peeling paint, curling shingles. Everything looks good. You even see some of those big ones, water shut off, gas shut off, or even the porch lights on during the day. You're starting to see the signs. Now what do we do? At this point, because budget's tight, I don't know if I would get really into direct mail, where you go back and take those addresses and send them a postcard. I think I'd just keep it simple. You're already there in the neighborhood. I would just hop out of the car and I'd be sure to knock on neighbors on both sides and not just the home so that you can already start to get some opinions from other people. Like, hey, do you know what's going on with this home? I'm looking to buy this home. Do you know the owner of this home? Because maybe you'll find out a lot of more information from these individuals that's going to help you in preparation so that you can turn this into a deal. So be sure to get out. Don't hesitate to ask neighbors because if it's an eyesore, they're also glad to share with you all the details so they can get that home sold, fixed up, and start beautifying their own neighborhood. After you've done that, guys, it's time for you to actually go up to the door and knock on the home that looks distressed. And you're probably wondering what's going to happen. Will this guy come out or this girl come out just ticked off at me, slam the door in my face, spit on me, punch me? What's going to happen? Well, guys, if you make it about the house and that you're trying to pinpoint some of the things that are going on in their home, like you're there, you knock on the door, they answer, and you say, hey, I noticed that your shingles are curling. I noticed that your lawn's 4 feet tall. Hey, I noticed you have fire marks. I noticed that your siding's fallen off. And I noticed that your garage door doesn't work. I want to know, do you want to sell your home? They're going to be like, dude, you just told me everything I'm doing wrong in my life. How big of an urgency do you think they are to do business with you at this point? It's something that you got to approach with a different tone. So if I were going out to the door, here's how I would do it. I would knock on the door and I'd say, hey, Mr. Homeowner, my name's Cody. I've been walking this neighborhood and I've talked to a couple of your neighbors and I'm just trying to look for a home to buy in this neighborhood. Do you know of anyone looking to sell at this time? And I'd just sit there quietly. Because no one wants to talk about their dirty linen, right? No one wants you to bring up their problems. But if they are indeed motivated, they themselves will bring up, you know what? I'm actually looking to sell my home. But what you did is you presented it in a way that let them let their guard down, where they don't have to be so tied up like, why is this guy on my porch? I mean, he knows my home's in bad shape. What is he thinking? Like, does he think I'm a bad person? Instead, you're just simply asking him, I'm looking for a home in this neighborhood. Do you ever know anyone that's looking to sell at this time? And just sit there. And you may find out he A, could refer you to someone, or B, that's going to be the only way that he's going to open up and start talking about his own home and that he's willing to sell. Hey guys, I want to give you a free gift to my free guide about bad properties, big profits. And in this guide, it's going to show you step by step some of the other things that we've talked about just in depth about what to do and how to locate these distressed properties, what neighborhoods they're found in, but more importantly, how to turn these leads into deals in as little as 30 days. So click on that link in the description and I'll see each one of you guys in that training.